in their box, and I mean it's still the same talking point. It's the box, it's the box. But MSNBC, this was on Deadline, discussing LeBron. But yeah, I think LeBron's like, I'm not gonna go and campaign for a candidate, but I will, put some money in, put my muscle behind getting Joe Biden elected without getting any blowback on me. But he did have that voter dodger, which it irks me. It irks me big time. It's like, really, are we really gonna die? Knock it off. I mean, that's bull crap.
Also, Joe Biden is the party of China, so it makes sense that they probably want to be all in on it. I mean, we just haven't found the documents yet on Hunter's laptop that include the Republicans company nowadays.
I don't want to go there, but this Lakers championship, God, look, I mean, and I know who Balmer is now, and his politics, wow. I mean, I think there's something stinky there with the NBA.
Well, the NBA is in big trouble, man. They got their revenue down, which could be down as much as 40% for the next year. Now they're running into all kinds of things like salary caps that can't be paid because the revenue's low. It's a mess. It's a real, and I don't know everything about it, but I read enough to know there's real problems in the NBA.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let the arenas, but they want to turn the arenas into voting polls.
Well, hello. Yeah.
And have black people. It's safe, not safe enough for us to play in, but we can let you come and vote.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of the psychology behind. I mean, it's very. We're cannon fodder. That's what we are. We're cannon fodder. But let's get into the. I think we're at 13.
Yeah.
Part 2 of this LeBron James clip.
You might recognize the voices of Jesus and Mero. That was part of a collaboration with LeBron James' effort, More Than a Vote. As you heard, it's called Under Review, a new rapid response operation aimed at flooding the zone, as they say, with facts in order to counter political misinformation targeting Black Americans, Black voters. On LeBron's latest venture, the New York Times writes this, quote, More Than a Vote has invested in recruiting more than 40,000 poll workers, helping formerly incarcerated people regain their voting rights and aiding the push for NBA arenas to be converted. Using bully pulpit.
Nicole Wallace, man, I really do not like her. She is so mean.
I have to give her credit the way she spun that though, because the way she spun it was because people why LeBron is not campaigning for Biden. Well, the way she spun it is he's being more tactical.
Tactical, yes.
But LeBron's like, I'm not getting that mess on. He had him and Jay-Z. If you notice, Jay-Z has been missing through this whole election.
And Beyonce, haven't seen her either.
Because they caught so much blowback from going on stage with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm not doing that anymore. But that's how she had to spin it was, he's being tactical.
Yeah.
And why is it just now that you're getting these NBA arenas turned into polling stations? I don't understand. They talk about voter suppression, and I know I'm harping on this, but very few people understand that it's in their control.
Yeah.
They can create more polling places.
Sure.
Why don't they? If that's really what you want to do.
If voting was really that important to politicians, they would have outlawed it decades ago. We all know that it would be better if nobody voted. Just a couple people to push them through.
Let's get into this last. I can't take any more of it, but let's get into the last clip with LeBron.
Jason.
So this is what I like about what LeBron is doing this time, and it was sort of in the New York Times article. He's out there talking about issues instead of a candidate. In 2016, he did a lot for Hillary Clinton in Ohio, but you can't change how people feel about Hillary Clinton. But what you can talk about is, hey, who's your local district attorney? Hey, what's your school board situation? Hey, is anybody taking care of your grandmother who has to deal with COVID? And this is the kind of nonsense that's being targeted at you. There's been so so much effort to suppress the black vote, in particular the African American male vote, that LeBron and George Paul and all these other players, they recognize that they have to be the antidote to people like Ice Cube and 50 Cent, who are going to make a lot of noise representing a much smaller portion of the African American vote and African American male vote than LeBron represents. So I like the fact that he is tactical and ideological about this.
Wow, you know that they're talking about you, Mo. I mean, I'll take some of the hit. There has been quite a bit of voter support.
If you want to take that as suppression,
That's what they're saying. That is what they're talking about. That's literally what they're talking about.
but that's what the whole misinformation campaign is. So I showed you something on the time. Joe Biden and I said this disgusting. I even found out more about it was like the Libertarian vice president nominee on Twitter about it. But Joe Biden never said super predator. Which is factually true. But they never clarified to go on and say, yeah, he did say predator. But they'll use that in this. And if I say, hey, he didn't say that, or somebody misspeaks and say he says predator, oh, that's misinformation. It's from the Russians.
Did you get a like or a follow from him?
No, I did not. But I did get a reply. I did get a reply saying, oh, my bad. And then he did clarify to go on to say he did say predator. But he was like, fact check.
Right.
Barack Obama, Joe Biden didn't say super predator and just left it there. And I'm like, oh no, you got too big of a platform. Thank you. So you got too big of a platform to let that ride.
Was this a white guy?
Yes, it was.
Well, you know you have to do that next time. You always start off by saying, I am surprised you would use your privilege. You don't just say what it is. Say, I'm surprised you would use your privilege to, let's see, in this case, to tell me I cannot correctly read quotes. I mean, anything like that, the minute you say, almost to anybody, you say, I can't believe you used your privilege. Their brain fries, and they go away. It's really beautiful. Try it. It really works.
Or you can say, I'm surprised that you allowed your privilege to afford you the opportunity.
No, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Yes. And you don't have to put anything in about black, white, male, female, gay, straight. Just say privilege, and it fries people's brains. Oh my God.
Private security. I gotta see this. What's up, y'all? Y'all look like private security. Are y'all private security? Y'all got the crazy tough faces. Yeah, I see him. I can see him clearly. I was driving by.
Did the music? What's the guy from that does the music?
The real fat one, right?
No, not the real fat one.
This guy here had the crazy ice grill when I was driving by. I was like, whoa, on this street, that ice grill? That gotta be some kind of security. Y'all running security over here? Is that what y'all doing? Or y'all secret, y'all can't tell me? Because I'm like a journalist for the hood.
Well, now you said that, we definitely ain't talking.
Oh yeah, right? Journalist for the hood. No, I'm not a journalist for the hood. My name is Elvis Rosenberg. And I got a YouTube channel, and I'm like driving around showing the city and the changes, how the city has all the, you know, and I'm showing people building the thing, writing it up, and then I drove by this guy, ooh, he was giving the scary voice. I mean the scary face. So, yeah, and then I see the dogs. So y'all are keeping it safe out here.
Yeah, we doing just making sure nobody come over there with the dumb shit, that's all.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That makes me happy. It really does, because it's like police is not necessary. The fat one, right?
He's actually a skinny dude, man.
He's a skinny dude? That ain't me. Maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But you know what it is? You don't need police. That's the big misconception. Like a person gets into an accident, they stay in there an hour and a half holding up the whole traffic. All they got to do is take pictures, exchange information, and gone. And then me, like a private business owner, I can hire somebody that protect me. And I love that y'all out here doing that, keeping people away from the dumb shit. That's a good look. That makes me feel good. That's America right there. All this communist bullshit they trying to have us do, bowing down, this right here is where it's at. I'm a supporter of what y'all doing. Private security holding down, making money. You know, that's real capitalism. None of this bullshit they trying to convince us that's capitalism. Like you drive a Mercedes-Benz and it's gonna die no matter what at 100,000 miles. That's fucked up. Can't pass down cars anymore to your kids. That's something wrong with that.
That's true, man.
That's an America I don't want to live in no more. This right here gives me hope. You heard? I mean that. I'm Elvis Rosenberg. Look me up. Look at this dude. Zombie. Still walking the streets. You alright, boy? You need $1 or something? Here, I'll give you $1. Give this guy $1. Here you go, I got 5. Get him out the streets. Here, come on.
We were all invited to this big meeting with President Obama was going to speak to us about the problem.
Yo! He don't want to get out the streets. I'm gonna give him $1. I only got a 5 in here, so maybe it's good that he kept it moving. So they got private security out here. Look at this dude. Just walking the earth like Cain. These dudes got dogs. Pit bulls holding the block down. City Journal. I gotta pull some more facts. I'm losing track of where I was. Pro Style, yes, this is Mo Facts. Chicago on deck, Crown Stock. Yeah, I appreciate that. Breaking news. Yup, that's Adam and Mo. The Dark Knights. Okay, relax. I'm going. Somebody's bumping 6'9". They had some South Carolina plates too. That's funny. I don't know how much of that you could have saw while I was talking to these guys, but you have some very tough looking dudes with dogs, and they are going to be policing these shops. I love that. Security, private security, man. There's no need for police. Police hands are tied. What they can do, these guys, I don't know. I'm sure their hands are tied to some degree too. I doubt if they can, I don't know. But the prepping and the safeguarding of these corporations has commenced. I like the fact that you're going to have a little guy who's building all these, you know, I don't know, building all these little safeguards, whatever you want to call them, you know, boarding up these stores. They're making $1, so I appreciate that too. And they're going to make more money when they take it down. What happens to the wood? Does the wood just end up in a dump? Or do they repurpose this wood? I would argue that the wood gets, 90% of it just gets wasted. This is Madison Avenue. I'm not going to play any more Mo Facts. I'm kind of I like to concentrate when I listen to more facts, and it's throwing me off. Let me go down to my my history. I was listening to Peggy Hall. She's so good. She has this website called thehealthyamerican.org. Not this. Wow, look at all this steam. That's a lot of damn steam up there, boy. This is where I originally started, over at Balenciaga. And how boarded up they are. I'm just going through my YouTube real quick on my going through my history, trying to see. It's quick, that's why I want to play it. Here she goes.
Keep their heads above the waves in the stormy seas and to look forward to brighter days ahead as we fight back tyranny and turn this ship around. All hands on deck for Miss Peggy Hall.
Now, hello everybody in Temecula. Underway before we get this ship sailing, I want you to turn around and look at the person either next to you or behind you. Look at their beautiful face. Would you give them a high five? Would you look at them face to face? Look into their eyes. Is that the most beautiful thing ever? As you know, this is how God created us to be in community, and I am so grateful for my friend and your next city council member, Jessica Alexander. I'm so glad that she invited me here, and as you've heard from the previous speakers, we do need to take action, and that's exactly what I am all about. It's not about, the only thing I complain about are complainers. And if you go on YouTube, you'll see plenty of complainers that will work you into a frenzy, worried about fear and living in anxiety and not being able to sleep at night. And I understand that we are facing some very stormy seas, as I call them, but it's not enough to be worked up into a frenzy. You need to take some positive action. And some people, you know, they kind of know me as the anti-mask advocate. I'm not really anti-anything. I am pro-civil rights, I am pro-human rights, and I am pro-God-given rights. That is really what our common message is here, my friends. No governor can make a law. You know that, don't you?
I know it.
Would you repeat that with me? No governor can make a law.
No governor can make a law.
No mayor can make a law.
No mayor can make a law.
No health officer can make a law.
No health officer can make law.
There are three sources of law. There is the Constitution. There are laws that were passed by your legislative body. You know, Jessica Alexander is going to sit on that council. And the most important source of law, that is God's law. The Constitution does not give you rights. The Constitution was created to prevent the government from taking your God-given rights. So my wonderful colleague and frontline freedom fighter, try to say that one, Dr. Erickson has been speaking about the science, the medicine. I have never spoken really about the science because to me, as important as that is, I'm not a medical doctor, but I want to talk about the importance of you understanding your God-given rights and how to protect your freedom and your liberty. And as Dr. Erickson said, this virus has turned out to be a lot less deadly than we were told it was. And if you're like me and you don't watch TV, I never really knew how deadly it was going to be because I don't spend my time doing that. But the fact of the matter is, even if a virus were to take out 99.9% of the population, no virus, no pandemic can ever come before your liberty and freedom. Never. We are responsible adults. We have the freedom of choice. Now, those of you that are wearing masks, you are doing that because it is your choice. There is no law, there is no statute, there is no requirement that forces you to obstruct your face and your God-given breath. You are welcome to do that as a choice. You cannot legislate compassion. My dear friend Jeanette spoke about compassion. That comes from the heart. That comes from God. That is our God-imbued sense of what's right and wrong. That cannot be legislated. To be told that we wear a mask because it's that way that we care for others. I care for others by giving them a hug, by visiting them, by spending time with them. And that brings me to the first of three tools of the enemy that feed on that fear. And the number one tool is division. So when this, I call it nonsense, all started several months ago, the number one thing we were told was to stay home. And like many people, I stayed home. I mean, I didn't have a job to go to. They told me don't come back. So I was home for a couple of weeks and I thought, well, I'm gonna go through all those photos, those photo albums I needed to get into order. And you know, I'll enjoy a couple of weeks off. Well, a couple of weeks turned into a couple of months. And before I knew it, I was feeling despair, and I think many of you were, and I decided to roll up my sleeves and do what I do, which is research and educate. And I found out that these governor orders were actually unlawful and invalid because they were based on, or I should say, there was no evidence for these orders to be based upon. So I made a video that explained that, and that video took off, and because of that, I created thehealthyamerican.org. And I know there are many on the American. And my whole goal has been to educate and empower you so that you'll understand what your rights are and how to defend your freedom and liberty, life, and to actually push back against tyranny. So the number one tool is division. They wanted us to stay home and be isolated. I heard story after story, people writing to me saying that they had loved ones in nursing homes that they couldn't visit, that they had mentally disabled loved ones that they were not able to go see. I heard stories of foster home children that couldn't see their birth parents. These stories kept me up at night, crying. My pastor husband David would pray over me because I was hearing these horrible stories. So I'm not anti-mask. I'm anti-inhumane treatment of people. The only antidote for division is connection. And that's what you're doing here. Look at this. All connected, beautiful, bare faces as God created you, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, and we need to do that. Let me just give you a quick plug for Thanksgiving. As we heard from Pastor Tim, our Thanksgiving plans are trying to be shaped up by the governor. And by the way, may I remind you, those are just guidelines. Guidelines are not a law. There's no such thing as, I've never heard of guideline enforcers. We have law enforcement. You don't go in front of a court of guidance, you go in front of a court of law, right? You're not a guidance breaker. Those are lawbreakers. So you don't have to follow any of that anyway. But I'll tell you what we're going to do as Healthy Americans. And I've got a couple of friends here that are going to help me organize it. And who knows, it may even be in your backyard. We are going to have the largest Thanksgiving feast that California has ever seen. And we're going to do it all together. Barefaced. We're going to be sharing those potluck meals. And we are going to be giving thanks to our God for all the blessings that He has put on us. So let me finish by saying this, friends. There are three tools of the enemy. One is division. The antidote to division is connection. The other is deception, which is confusion. The antidote to confusion is education. When you go to thehealthyamerican.org, you'll see the videos that I have, the remedies for you. I have letters to help you get into that nursing home. You can always contact me personally. I do, and my husband also. We do a lot of prayer and counseling. We want no one to be lost to God's love. And the third tool of the enemy, which is the most harmful, is despair. Despair comes when you have no hope. We have one source of true hope, and beyond that, we can share God's love together. The other antidote to despair is taking action. As the speakers have mentioned earlier, it's not enough just to feel indignant and outraged. You need to use that and turn it into a positive way. That's why I say positive waves of change, all hands on deck. So what I invite you to do, everyone, is to please join me at thehealthyamerican.org. And I have a question for you as I leave. Are you in favor of faith or fear? Right? Okay, and what about tyranny or liberty? What about fascism or freedom? That's what I want to hear, so let's have all hands on deck, full steam ahead to life, liberty, and we are going to have a full ocean of freedom. Thank you, everybody.
That's Peggy Hall with the healthyamerican.org. She's really good. She has a lot of legal ways of entering into these buildings. And I recently went to Nordstrom's, or was it Lord and Taylor? It was one of those two. The one that's still around. That's the one I went to. And everyone was like, sir, would you like a mask? You need a mask. I said, I'm exempt. And I just, kept it moving. Maybe I'll read a couple of comments. Chicago in deck. All right. Yep, Adam and Mo. That's what I was listening to. That was Pro Styles and Jokey 11A. Breaking news with Brenton Knight, aka Mr. Jody. Gotta check you out. I saw a video saying if Biden wins, we're coming. Yeah, a lot of fear, man. That's like one of the most controlling factors in everyone's life in a world where everything, I keep saying this in so many of my vlogs, is that in a world where everything dies, everyone is so afraid of death. Why are we so afraid to die in a world where everything dies? Oh, they got rid of the garbage cans. That's what this is. I was wondering what this was going on with the garbage bags. Why are the garbage bags attached to the poles? They got rid of the garbage cans so that garbage cans are not used to break down these things. So that's why the garbages are all these bags up on the pole. Look at this one high up, about 3 feet off the ground. Then you have another one here. So this whole neighborhood, all the garbage cans have been removed. We're on 74th Street and Madison Avenue. All stage prep. The show, the theater will commence tomorrow evening. They can just bring saws. LOL. Salute. Lots of purple. So that's Jokey 11A. What do you mean by lots of purple? Just like you just saw a lot of color purple? Like, tell me what you mean more. I just read your about column. Come to the Real Juicy Die Tech. Okay. Live chat group and vids are stacked up. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. She sounds so happy. Oh yeah, Peggy Hall always has a huge smile on her face. You turn off the Christian music. Yo, why you turn off the Christian music? Sorry, I didn't even think about that. I just knew it was over from what she was saying. I saw that earlier, so forgive me about that. That was T. Riddler. Crown Stock. Richie from Boston's been going on. Richie from Boston's been going on. Yeah. Interesting you mentioned that, Elvis. I believe the elites know what we used to. Know about death and we forget. Hence, why the Kardashians type pay for that. Maybe I've said too much. Crown Stock. Interesting you mentioned that, Elvis. I believe the elites know what we're used to. Know about death that we forget. Hence, why the Kardashian types pay for that. Maybe I've said too much. And then someone laughs. Crying emojis, 3 of them. Interesting. Well, thank you all for leaving comments and stuff like that. You can always share, and you can always donate at Elvis Rosenberg. Well, $sign Elvis Rosenberg at the Cash App, and at Elvis/Rosenberg at the Venmo. Just ways, value for value, true capitalism. Real capitalism. None of this crap. Like I was telling those security guys with the dogs, we're living in a country where if I buy a car, I can't even share that car. I can't even share the car. Like, I can't even give the car away or pass it on to my kids because the car is going to be full with false obsolescence. It's like, this is what I do not like. And I listen to I watch Jay Leno's shows, and I'm really into cars, and it's like everything put it like this, 50, 60 years ago, there were tons of car builders, tons of them. They were just small builders, and then, they all got beat by these, by the big conglomerates out there. And it's like, if you want to make a sports car, you can actually just buy a chassis. You can buy control arms for the bottom and top, and rotors and brakes, and you can buy so many different engines and transmissions. And it's like, it's doable, but people don't even think like that. Like I was speaking of death. We live in a world where everything dies, including the trees. Every tree does have a lifespan. They have a lifespan where they're going to die. We are going to die. Everything dies. All the fish are going to die. Some, the bears, everything. Like I talk about the turtles. They have turtles that live to 200 years old, but they're going to die. Everybody's going to die, but we all so scared. Everybody's so afraid. And it drives me crazy in a world where everything dies. They use so much fear of death to control us. And it's just insane how fear is such a powerful tool. And it's like, where are the fearless anymore? Where are the brave? Where are the people that stand 10 toes down and stand for something? Like, why are we such, I don't know, what's the word? Why are we such what? Oh, look, we're passing by one of those buildings again. One of empty buildings. Let me not get into the empty buildings, because then I start looking around going crazy about these empty buildings. You have to search for those episodes where I talk about how empty this city is and how it's such a farce that we're so packed with people, and they're not all in the Hamptons. That's a fact. They're not all in the Hamptons. You know? Anyway. You know, everybody's afraid to die. Everyone is being controlled with fear. The news is promoting fear. I met someone, and this person says to me, if that SOB gets reelected, we're gonna burn the city down. I was like, oh my God. And it was just something that I overheard. It wasn't like a first-hand conversation. I really didn't hear anything that was said before that and after that. So I put two and two together. So I don't know this person like that. You know, it was like, yes, I met the person. I don't remember their name, but there was a few people there, and this is just something I heard, you know, like in the background, but kind of close to me. And just imagine that idea that if this SOB gets reelected, we're gonna burn the city down. And it's like, what? You know, like, burn down a city? Burn down a town or businesses? I mean, it's just insane. It's insane to imagine the mentality, you know. And then the news, you know, they promote that stuff too. You know, I'm here to document it, whatever happens. And I will have my head up. Maybe my chin might be tucked down from the sucker punch I'm not trying to get hit with. But I will be out here like I've been for the last 6 months, you know, documenting what's going on, what stores are promoting the fear, what stores are boarding up. You know, things like that is important to know. This is history. You know, look where the narrative is taking us. And I thought I would share that. I thought I would share the boarding up of this town. At least the small part of the town. As you can see, the further up we're going, there's no more boarding up going on. I went all through Brooklyn. No boarding up in Brooklyn going on. It's just that little small part of Manhattan where where they keep the furnace very hot, where the evil is spinning and circulating and moving the wheels of the what, I don't know, the wheels of the, what they call this guy Matt will refer to them as the knot milk, which is Clinton spelled backwards. And it's like, you know, the wheels of the knot milk is being spun from underneath that area of this town. Hence, you know, it's like maybe some sort of gravitational pull that's pulling people closer and deeper into these areas. It's some sort of heartbeat, some sort of, you know, pulse, some sort of beating, some sort of rhythm that's happening, and it's drawing, you know, evil in its direction. So they're boarding up all that. Whereas you step away from that, nothing is being boarded up. Like right now, we're in Spanish Harlem, and I don't see anything boarded up. You know, so maybe we'll take 125th, where all those corporations opened up their businesses, and let's see what they're doing. I'm sure they think differently than the mom and pop does. But once again, we're in an empty city. It's a little after midnight. There should be, or there normally would be, about 6 cars in front of me and 6 cars behind me in this rotation of lights. Whereas in this rotation of lights, there are no cars behind me and just one in front of me. So we're talking about an empty city. A city in which, let me say, everyone is glued to their televisions or their devices, or they're drinking themselves to sleep, or smoking themselves to sleep, or pilling themselves to sleep, and the whole time they're terrified of dying. Come on. Everybody's gonna die. What are we so afraid of? What are we so afraid of? This is a famous mosque. I got a cousin that works here at Melba's. I mean, it's not Melba's, Amy Roof's. I heard the craziest story about Amy Roofs. How Amy Roofs is now owned by the landlords that own the building because of the owner at Amy Roofs couldn't keep the rent going. So this thriving business, a multi-million-dollar business, is now being owned or being run by the let's just imagine you have a business and the business is like being mismanaged or not being able to pay its bills, whatever have you. So now the landlords say, all right, we're gonna have to get you out of here because you're not paying the rent, and then takes over the business and keeps all the people that was there, all the staff that was there. They kept the whole staff. This is what I've heard. I don't really know 100%, but that was what, that was the word on the streets. So crazy, man. I don't wish anybody a restaurant in this town, in this city, and especially after this pandemic. I've been in the food business, in the restaurant business, in the bar business, in the service business a lot of years, since I was 20 years old. And let me tell you, this town is a hard nut to crack, and the only way to survive is you have to turn it into a job. It's barely a business. And then once you get sick and die, then everybody loses their job and somebody else comes along and tries to fulfill their dreams. And then they realize that it's nothing but a job. We're in Harlem right now. Riding through Harlem. This is, what avenue is this? This is 7th Avenue, aka Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Let me just see if Peggy Hall. All right. Let's see what she got here.
And welcome everyone. This is Peggy Hall from thehealthyamerican.org. And I am coming to you on Monday. It is the day before elections. And for some reason, and I think I know the reason, Even my own website is preventing me from sending out emails. That's right. I wanted to email everyone who is on my list at thehealthyamerican.org to give you a link to your federal rights when it comes to voting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and let's take a look here. So here we go. What I would like to share with you is my website. So let's take a look, shall we? I have a new page here called News and Events. And if for some reason you do not get my newsletter, and I like to email, oh my gosh, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week, because I don't want you to miss out on any of the news and action steps. But for some reason, I cannot email you for 5 days. And they also have limited my reach on Facebook. I cannot share my posts. I cannot comment. People cannot comment on my posts like they used to. So the best place to find out what's going on is on YouTube, and I'll show you my YouTube channel, and also here at thehealthyamerican.org. So let's take a look, shall we, at the news and events. And I want to show you this post right here, denied the right to vote in the USA. I aired a 3-part video with my good friend, David Hackenfauer, and he also is the attorney, one of the attorneys that is advising my good friend Tony Roman from Basilico's Restaurant. This is a very troubling video where he was denied the right to vote illegally. So I did some research, and also David did some research. I would love for you to watch that video. But here's what I want to show you. If you live in California, your voting rights are protected. I go into a great deal in the video, and you can click on either of these links to print out the document. And I plan on taking this to...
This used to be a hotel that Fidel Castro stood at this hotel when he came to the United States of America. It was here in Harlem where Castro stood. I don't see anything boarded up on 125th. Okay, next to TD Bank, it's boarded up. I think that's... I remember it used to be a Fry. And then after a Fry, it became a Modell's. Then after Modell's, I don't know. Oh yeah, it is a Modell's. Yeah, I gotta turn around real quick and show you this picture. I have not, this is the first time I've seen this picture, but it does remind me of pictures that I've been seeing lately. And lately, I've been seeing a ton of pictures that appear to me was drawn by someone or something without a soul. I'm going to show you what I mean in 10 seconds. I'm letting this lady just cross. Let me back up. Okay. lately I've been seeing a ton of stuff like this. Do you see this? And that's supposed to be Biggie Smalls, I'm sure. I don't know who this is. And this looks like, I don't know who that lady is, but she looks familiar. I'm not sure. But all these pictures all around for the last like 2 years have been they've been soulless. I mean, these pictures, and I'm telling you, I pay close attention to details. And all these pictures I've been seeing, all these murals, or murals, you know what I'm talking about. And they seem to be dead-eyed and soulless. They have these pictures, I put it on Facebook, of like Tupac and all these rappers, Biggie, and everywhere you turn, all the new pictures their eyes are like soulless. And it makes me think about all of those, it makes me think about all the stuff that I talk about, like the AI, and how possibly AI is like running a lot of the show right now, and it's actually running the asylum. You know how they say that, you know, the patients are running the asylum? The AI is running the damn asylum. They got rid of all the humanity. And it's placing all this art I've been looking at reminds me of just some sort of soul-snatching resemblance. And it's happening everywhere I turn. All the art you see has this soullessness to it. Look at this. I've never seen this before. This is my first time seeing this. And it's just helping make my point. Especially the Tupac. When was Tupac neck ever that damn fat? Unless it looks like they were covering up some sort of graffiti somebody might have put there, and they fixed it. I don't know. But it's soulless art everywhere in this city. It's like, who's creating this? Okay. There I am. These are my new glasses. You like them? I have a little brush here because my hair starts to go crazy. And I need to be able to bring it down. Bam. There you go. I do that twice a day. I'm not gonna lie. But the art in this town is so. Where's the soul? What happened to the soul, man? What happened to the life? You know, the eyes are so important. It's just like hands, you know? Hands and feet. Come on, the eyes are so important. And we're getting tons of soulless creatures running around. Anyway, you are appreciated. I'm gonna go to bed. As you can see, there's only a small part of the city that's boarded up. If the news tries to convince you that the whole city is boarded up, you know the truth. You don't need to yell and scream at anybody how ignorant they are and how it's only a small handful of stores that are doing it. You don't need to prove yourself. You stand in truth. You know, you stand in truth. Who's gonna do like me? You know, I was gonna show up and vote down ballot. I was gonna write somebody in Listening to more facts makes me want to not even show up. I will know tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll let you know what I did. Whether I showed up, whether I sat it out, or if I wrote someone in. I might screenshot that. Or not screenshot that. I might take a photo of that. Anyway, you are appreciated. I will check out that site that we talked about. That detoxification site. And you are appreciated. Don't forget, you can show your appreciation. They say with the thumbs up and they say with sharing. I say show it with value for value, where you hit the Cash App or the Venmo. And once again, you are appreciated. Thank you very much. Showing you my city, showing you that don't believe the hype. Turn off your news. You don't need to watch the news. You want to know what's going on in the news? Listen to the Corbett Report. Listen to High Impact Flicks. Listen to Mo Facts with Adam Curry. Listen to No Agenda. Who else? Peggy Hall's good. Who else? Red Silver J. He just released like four videos in the last 2 days. Maybe 6 videos. Where he hasn't even posted in 2 years. And he's one of the guys who woke me up back in 2014. 2014, Red Silver J woke me up. And then he disappeared after the election. And he's come back. He's done like some video game stuff. Some gaming tutorials. And he's also done a few little things. But it's good to see him back. Because I did feel a little lost without him for quite some time. For about a year. 2 years. I wish I would have downloaded all his episodes, because such great information, undeniable information, you know. But he's taken down all those videos, to my chagrin. But I'll be all right. I am okay, and I'm thanking you for being here with me. You are appreciated. Red face, what are you talking about? You didn't see any of that. Boom.